Hello, people. Um, Sometimes, or how should I say it? When I started out with 3D printing about 2 years ago, I didn't really, uh, I didn't really pay so much attention to the stuff on the nozzles. I didn't think that mattered much, but pretty quickly, I realized that stuff like you can see here on the nozzle, it's gunk. It's basically filament that builds up around the nozzle. It can cause problems with print because when filament comes out, it can stick to this, and that can cause print issues like blobs or big blobs of filament sticking, or like it cannot wipe the nozzle properly because it gets stuck to it. So I thought I would talk to you guys a little bit about cleaning these nozzles, because when I started out, I thought this was impossible to clean off. And it's like, I found it expensive because each of these cost like between 14 and 20 euros, maybe more, if depending on location, if you have to buy them domestically in your own country. And the Bambu hot ends, you cannot change the nozzle tips, which you can normally do on the other tips. Let's see if I find it. Here is a comparison nozzle. In this, this is one of the ones I've made a review of. There's a third-party nozzle where this unit here can actually be removed, and it equals this part here, but it cannot be removed on the Bambu hot ends. So unscrewing this is one way of fixing it on the other ones. Fortunately, the Bambu hot ends are quite well made, so you can actually remove this with a few steps. So I thought I would go through it today. So basically, you can, if you don't have a knife like this, I made a handle myself, but you can buy these blades online, or you can buy them with a knife itself. You can use that, or you can use the one that comes with your printer, which is this. Hang on. These razor blades. And the other one you need is a steel brush like this. And that's basically all you need to rectify this. So to make a good showing now, I'm just going to show you on the one that is worst. Probably the first one I replaced because I thought that the hot end was broken before I started using cleaning tools. This one has never been declogged, so I will do that in a later video as well. So it's going to be difficult with light. Let me see if I can change the light a bit. How can I place that? Like here, maybe. Lighting is important when you make videos, or it's difficult to show. So now it's not obstructing my hands. So what I like to do is I first go in and I just scrape inwards and upwards. I don't know if you can see it here, but if you do that every like half a millimeter, like this, you can see that you are exposing the metal again. And the thing I said about the Bambu nozzles being quite well made is because the metal is so polished that when you scrape it, the filament is actually not properly stuck to it. So the filament actually cleans off pretty well. And so, see, now I did the most of it, and then you just take your steel brush and take over any residues. And you can already see, let's see if I can already see that it's becoming quite nice on the bottom rim. And then you have the top rim as well. Just do the same there. So this is like a beginner's tutorial almost for everyone out there who has started 3D printing. You really should, you shouldn't discard your hot ends, because unless you are printing something that's like really hard on your hot ends inside, like carbon fiber or wood or something like that, then the need for actually replacing the hot ends when they clog is not so big. So there, getting better. See, I'm gonna zoom in here so you can see. You can see in the shine that it's getting better. Now there's still a small rim, so in this case on the small rims I like to go from the top down and just do like this all the way around. I have seen some examples where the nozzle tips sort of explode and filament coming out from the sides, but in most cases that is not what's happening here. Here is just gunk filling up, especially when you have it in the poop chute. Sometimes the flush is too high, so it just affects the, it just fills up around the nozzle tip, and then you get the gunk. And if you have old crystallized filament stuck around the nozzle, then it can easier make it stick. So if you use this, you should at least have, I would say, 3 hot ends of each type, preferably with their own setup with the cables and cables and cooling fans, stuff like that. Don't touch the tip here, because that's where all the extrusion happens. The sides have not so much with the extrusion itself to do. Don't put so much pressure on it, because you don't want to bend or cause any kind of bending to this part here. I'm almost done with this now. Remember when I started with it, it was totally black. That's what I've been wondering about. I love these steel brushes. And why don't the Bambu have a nozzle wiper with steel brushes like this? It's like every time it's finished, it will go jiggy 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 over this instead of that plastic one. It just strikes me as so much better. Than the nozzle tip would always be clear. So I don't know, Bambu, if you're watching my videos, can you look into maybe having this as nozzle cleaner? You don't need deeper than this, so that every time it goes over, it basically just cleans the nozzle tip with a steel brush instead. Nozzle tip would be perfect every single time. And these are not so stiff. I would say the rubber ones are stiffer, and you could even have different grades of these. And yeah, I'm considering making like one of those myself just to have it. Anyway, I think this looks really nice now. So this is after I cleaned it. And for comparison, I have a brand new one here. Let me see, where is it? Here. The one on my right here, this one is the one I cleaned. Still a little bit of gunk there. But I would say they look almost as good as new after a good clean. And yeah, I think that came out pretty well. So this one is brand new, and this one is the clean one that I actually discarded because I thought it was broken because it has so much gunk on it. So my next video will be to show you how you can restore life to a 1-year-old nozzle that has never been declogged or fixed before. So thanks for watching, and I hope this video was helpful in you cleaning your own nozzles and giving a little bit longer lifetime to them. Please like and subscribe for more. Just a small addendum. On the Bambu wiki, there's a good description on how to do a cold pull, where you only heat the nozzle to 100 degrees. Actually, I usually do that with 80 degrees if it's PLA. But the good thing is that it will basically retract the filament up to the tip. So the filament you pull out, it will basically have the shape of the tip because it's all the way to the tip of the nozzle. And I recommend doing that before you store any of your nozzles. Even if it's just because you're changing to a different size, do that, because next time when you want to print, you don't have to start declogging your current nozzle. I don't recommend storing the nozzles with filament inside, because my experience is that if it's stored for a long time, it makes it hard to remove it, because the filament inside will crystallize because it gets moisture from the air when it's inside a nozzle, and it will crystallize once you heat it up. So do that when the filament is fresh and inside, so that when you store it and you want to reuse it, you already have a declogged nozzle. Takes a little bit of time, but it's going to be less time than what you have to do when you start doing it. So that's a tip from me.